All right, welcome. Hello, Captain Blade. Good to see you. All right, so today, last few days of my commercial game in 2 weeks challenge, I am building on one of my old games called Smack Demon, making a little bit of a turn-based necromancer game, and it's nearly finished. I'm gonna try to wrap it up tonight, even though I have until Monday. Because I have some other things that I need to do. So I'm going to try to finish it up early. And that's what we're going to be doing on the stream today. We might do a little bit of sound effects work. It kind of depends on how the stream goes. So yeah, there's just a bunch of quality of life things that need to happen. And I do need to make a boss of some sort as well. So we're going to see how that goes. Hello, Christian. Welcome. All right, so let's give the game a little bit of a playthrough. See what we're working with. So you might be hearing some sound effects in the background. So let's remove this. I had this code that automatically kills enemies in place for testing purposes. So let's go to my room. And this is the problematic block right there. Okay, let's go ahead and play it now. So basically, yeah, you're this necromancer, and you can summon skeletons to help you fight against the minions, or the enemies here. And the thing about this game is that the necromancer cannot attack directly himself, so you need to summon your skeletons. And so I'll go ahead and summon that guy, and then I can go over and click him. And then I can smack. So it's basically just like a turn-based kind of combat strategy game. And then once you beat the level, you'll be presented with a couple of upgrades. You'll be able to choose a new ability, or you'll be able to choose an upgrade for your existing minions. So this one, Skeleton Warrior upgrade, increases the summon count by 1, and then minion spawns at a random tile within range. So let's take that one and see how that goes. So now if I click this, okay, he spawned up there. So I'll just move him down. And I can have 2 skeletons with that upgrade, so I'm going to summon another one, and the other one died, okay. And we got a crash. So I'm still dealing with crashes related to tweens for some reason. I still haven't been able to figure it out, so this is kind of unfortunate. Hello, Indy Ramis. Welcome. All right. So let's just start working through some feedback here. So first bit of feedback I got that I want to address is I want to change where these indicators are. So those red indicators that show up that indicate where the attack is going to show up, I think those need to go onto a different layer So if I go to my room, you can see that, let's see. So we've got the entities layer, we got the floor. So I basically want to create probably a new node 2D. I'm going to call this a, what is, like indicators or something? Indicators. Let's increase the size of that. All right, so get entities layer. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing. So I've got these layer entities. Let's create another one. Layer indicators. And then we'll add the indicators layer, which I still need to grab. Indicators. We'll just go ahead and add that to the group. Add to group. Layer indicators, right? Indicators. There we go. Cool. And then we're going to create a node extension here, which is just kind of like a really lazy way of getting some nodes that are present in the scene. Get indicators layer. Layer indicators. Okay, so now if I go to my telegraph component, I'm adding this to the entities layer, but now I can just change this here and say get indicators layer. And now our indicator should be properly situated underneath the entities rather than on top of them. I hope, anyway. Yeah, so you can see now that those are properly showing up behind the necromancer and on the ground. Oh, let's run away. Oh, I misclicked. So yeah, I think this is looking all right. So we'll just defeat these imps real quick. And let's take the swap ability. Let's do a little bit of play testing here. So with the swap ability, I can swap places like that. Still a lot of effects that I need to implement as well. There we go. All right. The other change we want to make is change the attack of the fireball. So what happens is once you kill an imp, the fireball attack sticks around, which is unfortunate. So we're gonna get rid of that when the imp dies. Hello, short stuff. Hello, Jack. Welcome, welcome. Glad to see you both back. If you only have 1 minute, the swap should be auto instead of clicking. I see what you're saying. I disagree with that, though, because it's possible to misclick and put yourself in a bad situation. Also, it's extra work. Trying to wrap this up today, basically. I have decided that I'm not going to sell it, but I will reveal exactly the mechanism by which you all can play the game when I do my video on it. But it just didn't work out. This game didn't work out to the point where I feel comfortable selling it, but it will be available for you all to play if you want to give it a try. So yeah, today I'm just basically going to be wrapping up. There's going to be a lot of flaws with the game still, but I'm still going to polish it up, make it as presentable as possible, and hopefully that'll be good enough. Okay, so we moved the telegraph layers to the floor layer. Cool. So now let's change that imp behavior. So I'm going to go to my imp, and when it does this attack, should fireball in here. Fireball ability right here. So let me think about this. Execute tile command. So this creates the fireball ability. Creates the fireball, and this is sort of the iffy part here. I haven't really built the system so that if the entity dies, its abilities also die. Because what I'm doing is when the fireball is first instantiated, it actually gets added to the scene tree and then is just in a state where it indicates the tiles. And I think the comet ability is the same. Comet ability. So I think the comet ability is the same. Yeah, so it adds that. So I think basically what I need to do, the easy way to do this is to say, okay, so here's my private node comet, right? Assign it there. And then in my notification, I can say what equals notification pre-delete. Then, whoops. If what equals notification pre-delete. I'm going to say if is instance valid comet. And unfortunately, we're going to key free that. I spilled water on my keyboard the other day, and now my right arrow key doesn't work. Everything else works fine except the right arrow key, and let me tell you, I did not realize how much I use the right arrow key until it no longer works. So very annoying. All right, let's see. So yeah, so now we're just assigning the comet to a variable, and then when this comet ability gets deleted, it should delete the comet from the scene as well. And I think our telegraph component is going to be just fine as well. Okay, so let's see if that will work, and we'll do it the same for the fireball ability. So we're going to remove the var here. Private node 2D fireball. Well, I guess I want to actually cast it to a fireball. Else if what is equal to notification pre-delete, right? Then we're going to say if is instance valid fireball. Got to click over to the end. Actually, let's see. Can I do like a shift? I could do FN end to go to the end. Okay, see if that works. Then we're going to take that fireball and queue free it. Okay, so let's see if that is going to work the way that I want it to. I think it should. Okay, so these red indicators should go away now. Oh, it's still casted the fireball. All right. All right, so that's not actually going to work because I think the timing is slightly wrong. So instead, I suppose what I should probably do is... I guess I can connect to the health component, but I don't know if I really want to do that. Yeah, the right arrow key. Game jam. It's a self-imposed game jam, code red. It's not actually for anything official. All right, well, I guess the only way to get around this is to actually connect to the death signal. So what we're going to do is we're going to owner.getFirstNodeOfType health component dot connect name of health component dot died this name of on died. Too bad I'm not using Godot 4, man. I would love to have those callables right now. On died. We're just going to say queue free. And then we're going to take that same line and put it into the comet ability as well. Public override void ready. Copy paste. Private void on died. Cue free. Hopefully this doesn't cause any unintended side effects. I'm sure it will, but the motto of this stream is YOLO. We're YOLO coding. All right, let's give it a shot. So now those indicators should disappear when I kill the imp. Okay, yeah, seems to work. All right, well, let's put a mage on here and just make sure that that works as well. Cool. All right, those things seem to be working. So let's say delete abilities when enemies die. Oh, I also should show you all that I created a chicken. Chicken enemy. Let's go ahead and see it. So there's a chicken. Isn't he cute? Pretty large chicken, actually. He's like those chickens from Sekiro, remember that? So chicken does a like berserk attack, so watch this. So he just berserks in every direction. So just do a little bit more play testing here. Cool. All right. Looking good. So let's delete that chicken. Remove hard-coded entity. And just make sure that that's committed. All right. So let's say that that's good. One thing that I want to do is just to add a little bit of polish is I want to add level introduction plaques. So I want to like introduce the level to the player. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to create I always use a canvas layer from I think this is what you're supposed to do, but use a canvas layer for your full screen UIs. So level introduction plaque. Okay, and then we're going to save that into UI screen. Save it there. Now, what I don't know is how I'm supposed to lay this out. I need a control root node with a chain panel. Okay, so let's do this. Gonna add a control root node, make that full rectangle so that it covers the screen. Gonna introduce the chain panel here. Perfect. Let's make the children editable so that we can reposition the chains here. And then let's go ahead and add, I believe, a panel container. Yes, and then we want to make that shrink center. So shrink center, shrink center. And why isn't that working? Oh, I think I need this to be a margin container. Yeah, I need a container. Perfect, okay. So you may be wondering why I have this nesting going on. So here, let me explain this a little bit. So this root control right here, it's the only thing that's important about this is that it's not a container. So any container element will automatically reposition and resize the children. And that's bad in this case because I want this chain panel to be able to move up and down so that it can be animated, right? So I need this root control here to not automatically modify the position of the children. And then what I want is I want the panel container to be in the center of the screen. So how do I make that happen? Well, I add a margin container, which is a type of container, make it stretch to the full screen, and then I can use the size flags to properly position this, right? So I can make it super wide, or I can make it, at the end. So that's the reason why I've got this nesting structure going on here. It's a little bit confusing, but sometimes you have to get creative with your scene structures in order to be able to animate UI elements. So yeah. All right, let's see. How do you get motivation to make devlogs? I love answering this question because the answer is, and I actually had to tweet about this, motivation sucks. If you're looking for motivation, you're going to fail. It's just as simple as that. Motivation will will come and go as you work on your project. The only thing that's going to be consistent is discipline. And so it's not a question of motivation, it's a question of I just need to sit down and work. The other way to say it is the only way out is through, right? If you want to make a YouTube video, the only way to do that is to sit at your computer and do 5 hours of video editing. Otherwise, you're not going to have a video, right? So your only choices are sit down for 5 hours and go through the tedium of editing the video, or you don't have a video, right? There's no in between, there's no easy way out. You have to do that. And I'm not saying that I don't enjoy it. Like, I do enjoy a lot of processes, a lot of the parts of it. And sometimes I do have motivation where I just want to work a lot of hours. But then there's other times where I'm like, I really don't want to do this, but I have to do it. Otherwise, I'm not going to create what I want to create, right? So discipline is what you're looking for. That's my opinion anyway. I'm not like a, I'm not like a spiritual leader, so maybe don't take that as gospel truth, but that's the framing that works for me. You should change the cursor to the aiming logo on the game name. I might, but I don't know if I have the skill to do that. I mean, I could just turn it white, perhaps. Please change the cursor to the aiming logo. Oh, you're saying change the game. I could do that, make it like red. The only thing is I can't make it exactly like that because number one, that's a higher resolution, the logo. And number two, I'm working with a limited color palette in the game itself. So the colors might be slightly different. But I can, if you like that style, I can definitely make it that style. Hello, Balgream's Art. Wishlisted the game. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Okay, let's get to work on this level plaque now. Margin container. So I like to add a margin container inside of my panel containers because it gives you a little bit of padding around the edges. So there's a little bit more room to breathe. And then I'm going to just create, I think I just need a label here and I'm just gonna call it like level 1. Level 1. And we'll just mark that as a scene unique name. Hello, Grievous Studio. You are repeating a question that's already asked, but I actually don't mind. I can't expect everyone to have watched every minute of the streams, so I don't mind answering that quickly. Basically, the answer is that I simply prefer C#. That's literally the only reason. And the reason for that, to go deeper, is because I feel like you can add or you can apply more traditional program software design principles, right? I find it easier to architect my systems when I have like interfaces that I can use and abstract classes, and I can have clear overrides, well-defined types. I know there's a type system in GDScript, but the type system in C# is obviously much more robust and much more capable. And really all of that is it just enables me to feel more confident in the systems that I'm creating. That's the only reason. I'm not using it for performance reasons. I'm not using it because it's actually slightly worse in terms of your game being available on other platforms. Like, C# does not perform well in the browser at the moment, and I'm not sure what the porting process would be like if you were to like take it to like consoles or something. So it's actually possible that C# may actually be a worse choice for your project depending on what you're trying to do. Okay. So if you're trying to make a web game, don't use C#, I don't think, because there's some weirdness around C# running in the browser. Game.ui.screen. So we got the level introduction plaque. Let's just say public void set level index int index. My right arrow key doesn't work. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, and then I'm going to grab that label, and then we can say label.text is equal to Also, the nice thing about C# is this string interpolation. Watch this. Level index +1. Ah, so nice. Okay, so we've got the level introduction plaque, and then what else do I need to do? What else do I need to do? I think I need to grab the chain panel. Is that what it's called? Private chain panel, yeah. Chain panel. Okay, public override void ready. I'm just gonna do this really like lazily here. Let's say chain panel dot. Oh, it automatically does it. Okay, so let's do this. Await this dot timer. Let's do 2.5 seconds, and then we're gonna say chain panel dot reverse. Okay. Do I want to do that? No, I don't. Okay, so we've got this level introduction. And what I might actually do is maybe I'm not going to make this centered. Yeah, I actually don't think I'm going to make this centered in the vertical direction. And then I'm just going to go to my margin container here and just add a margin top of like 64. There we go. Yeah. I think that's fine. And then just move it up. Cool. All right then, so I need to make this unique, this chain panel, and then I need to introduce this. So I think the easiest way to do that is going to be in the room here. So let's go ahead to my room. Let's add a resource preloader. Actually, maybe we don't even need that. Maybe I can just instance a child scene here, level introduction plaque, throw that up right there. That will automatically play, and so when the room is started, let's see. I think all I'm going to need to do is, yeah, I've got this current level here. When is this set? Okay. So I think all I need to do is grab a reference to that node, private level introduction plaque. Then on ready, level introduction plaque dot set level index current level, and I think that's it. And then I'll just, yeah, actually maybe I do want to await this. This might be a little bit too long of an animation, but we'll see. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, so that actually looks kind of awkward, not being in the center. Oh, maybe I need to do the center. Wait, do I need to do center pivot offset? Maybe it's fine. Let's see. Yeah, it just looks a little bit awkward here. So, I wonder, let's see. Perhaps I could just change the anchors. See if that works. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. So I just changed the anchors and that seems fine. Okay. Let's see. I've always used GDScript, but I really miss being able to structure the code better. Yeah, you might find that C# is a better option for you then. You can I would definitely recommend giving it a shot. Hello, Leia. All right, I'm going to say Survivant. Hello, Survivant. Welcome, welcome. This game is going to be better than chess. I do not think so, but I appreciate your confidence in me. Will this game be pixel perfect? I might. There's an add-on. There's a pixel perfect add-on. I forgot I think I started on GitHub somewhere, but I might just throw that in there sort of last minute to enforce pixel perfect. And I think the last thing to do for this upgrade screen is basically just to... I'm going to change all of these mouse filters to ignore, so I can interact with things. All right. I think I missed one. Let's see. Oh, wait. Did I miss one? Mouse filters are like the... Oh, I changed the wrong one. Whoops. I changed the wrong scene. This is the one that needs to be changed. Okay. And that looks like it's a little bit long. So what I'm going to do is change this timer to be like maybe 1.75. Reduce some of that time. Cool. I think that looks pretty good. I'm just going to see if the next one works now. Cool. All right. Not bad. Let's commit that. Add level introduction plaques. All right. Cross that off my list. So, there's a bunch of stuff we can do. We can add a little bit more content. There's more polishing to do. There's more sound effects to do. So what do we want to do? Well, I got a couple of suggestions from friends that played the game. And, let's see. Let me see if I'm just pulling up the feedback that I got from them. See what we can work on here. So one suggestion is to create a ability that you can have that creates a wall, that creates blocks off a portion of the map for a certain amount of time. So that's one thing we could do. So maybe we could do that. Yeah, that sounds interesting. Let's do that. Let's make a wall ability. Hello, J0, welcome. It's nice to see you as well. The animations you make are really neat. Perfectly convey the movements. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm basically leaning on animations to make this game look nice, because it's not very graphically complex or anything of that nature. So yeah. All right. So let's do a wall ability. Wall ability, and this one is going to might be a little bit complex. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if I can actually, it might not work in the system that I've designed here, but we're going to give it a shot. Wall ability. Okay, we got to create a script for it. This extends base ability. And then we got to implement the abstract class. Let's move this notification method up to the top. Okay, get ability definition. So we got to create an ability definition. And so that basically involves copying one of these ability definition classes and pasting it here. And then we're going to rename this to wall ability definition. We'll keep that icon in there, block a tile with a wall. And we'll make the cooldown maybe 3 so you can construct, 4 maybe. So you can construct walls pretty quickly. All right, so get ability definition. We need to return new wall ability definition. Just like that. Get valid tiles. So we're going to return this, or let's see. I think we have the grid manager component. Yeah, grid manager component. Get tile positions in radius. And we're going to say the root tile position is... We'll grab the root tile position of the current entity that the ability is attached to. Root tile position. Let's give it, maybe we give it a radius of 3, make it a little bit interesting. Exclude root position true. That's already true by default, so we don't need to worry about that. We'll use our link to say where x grid manager component dot not, or tile is occupied. Let's see, yeah. So we're going to select all of the tile positions in the radius where they are not occupied. And then we're going to say toArray. So those are our valid tiles there. And then execute tile command internal. So this is going to be the thing that is a little bit tricky. So, I think the easiest way to do this is to implement it as an entity. As an entity with health, perhaps, so that enemies can destroy the wall. I think that's going to be the easiest thing to do. So let's go to our game object. Let's duplicate the skeleton warrior. We're going to call this wall. And our faction component, we'll keep that as player. Is this an ability? Yes, this is, I actually don't know what that flag does, so we'll leave it for now. Let's create a health of, let's give it a little bit of beef, you know? We'll give it a little bit of beef. Trait entity. Okay. So this, actually, do I need this? Oh, I don't need the trait handler component, so we'll get rid of that. There is going to be no abilities for this wall. And there's going to be no animator component. So let's just move the sprite up. Okay, so wall ability, let's add a resource preloader. Bring that wall into there. Perfect. And for the sprite, let's just change the modulate so that it's very obviously the wall and not the skeleton. Okay, and then we need to go to the wall ability. Let's grab a reference to the resource preloader. Resource preloader. I should learn to enunciate. Okay. And then in here, wall is equal to resource preloader dot instance scene or null node 2D wall. Then we're going to say wall dot first we need to add it. So this dot get entities layer dot add child wall. Wall.global position is equal to grid manager component dot tile position to world tile center command args dot target tile position. Oh, this is supremely verbose. But verbosity is okay with me. And is that it? I'm curious to see what happens when I do this. Is everything going to break substantially? Let's add the wall ability to the necromancer and see if it works. Obviously, there's a lot of work to do still. So we've got the wall here, so let's put it in. Okay, so when I select the wall, it doesn't do anything. It crashes, actually. I figured that might be the case. So abilities component here. So I think this is going to be a simple fix. Var abilities component is equal to. So this is going to be simple. Basically, if the abilities component does not exist, or yeah, if the abilities component doesn't exist, we'll just return out of it. All right. But this now, because of the way the grid works, should still prevent the enemies from... Look at that. Oh, crash. Object reference not set to instance of object. Owner get first node of type, emit signal name of died, owner queue free. Interesting. We'll have to figure that one out. Should add new enemies and bosses if you haven't already. Yeah, so I gotta add a boss for sure. Maybe another enemy type, but... Slightly off-topic question, but will the game also be available on Steam Deck? I think... I mean, I don't want to commit to anything, but if I can get controller support working, then I would assume that it would run just fine on Steam Deck. But it's all about the controller support. Which means I gotta make the UIs navigable with controller and all that stuff, and that might be a little bit difficult. Unless there's... Yeah, I don't know. I guess what I could do is I could just do something not so great and just have a cursor that you can move around with the controller. That'd be simpler, but it's not a great experience. Is Steam free? It is free to download, yes. It is indeed. Emit signal name of died. Why is this? Let's figure out where this is going wrong here. Why would this be breaking? Let's try it again. That's so weird. Why is that happening? It just says there's an error here, but I don't know why that is. Why is that happening? Object reference not set to instance of object. Oh, is it failing here? Let's see if that's the problem. I wonder if I can't await an asynchronous method that is nullable. So I'm using the null chaining operator there. It's possible that I'm not allowed to do that. Okay, well, that's good to know. Wow, that might be the cause of a lot of my crashes then. Okay, so what we're gonna have to do then is say animator component is equal to, come on, owner get first of node of type animator component. If animator component is not equal to null, and we gotta await this. That's kind of annoying. Maybe there's an easier way to do this. Perhaps I could have done this, await that or task.completed. Is that possible? Oh, let me try that. That might actually work. Now, obviously, this AI is not going to be very smart. It's just going to keep attacking the wall until... Oh, and there's a crash. Well, that's not related to this, so this worked. Now I'm kind of curious if I'm doing that in any other place, and maybe that's what's causing the crashes. Let me just click through. I'm pretty sure that random crash that I'm getting is due to something weird with tweens. Okay, I don't think I'm doing that awaiting a null chained call. I don't think I'm doing that anywhere. Ooh, except for here. This probably wouldn't have been a problem, but we'll just fix it. Okay, I think I'm pretty much good to go everywhere else here, so that's good. Yeah, okay. So I've got the wall. Let's, I guess let's just go ahead and create. Let's create a wall. Now the question is how to do it. I think the easiest thing to do is going to be to create like a big bulbous rock or something. Just like that. And we'll call it good. Yeah, that's it. We'll just do that. Kidding, of course. Actually, maybe I'll use purple here. Maybe purple is not going to work the way that I want it to. Rocks are a tad hard to draw. Maybe I'd be better off using blue or something. I guess so, but I do like the purple a little bit. Make it an obnoxious green color. Not gonna do that. So I'll just throw something together. Maybe can I use white? No, unfortunately. So yeah, the problem is like I don't really have a highlight color, so maybe I need to turn that color down and then I can use this as my highlight. That's an ugly blue though. I think I probably would have chosen a different color palette, but I'm too deep now. I'm too deep now. Looks like a giant egg. Maybe we make it flatter. Okay, well, I don't think that looks too bad. Just throw it together. We'll see what it looks like in game. Giant egg rock. Create a new folder. Wall. There we go. What am I working on at the moment? Just finishing up this commercial game in 2 weeks challenge that I imposed upon myself. And trying to get this wrapped up so you all can play it. I decided though that I'm not going to sell it. So, spoiler alert. But it will be available to play. Could it be a pile of bones? That's an interesting idea. Maybe I should have done that. We'll see how this looks and then maybe I'll change it. Okay, let's see. How does that look? All right, that doesn't look terrible. So I think probably want to add a turn duration to it as well. So let's do that. So yeah, I need to add a script to this. Ugh. Game.GameObject. Let's see. Another quick question. Why don't you put your game on normal App Store? Normal App Store? I don't know what that means. You're talking about like mobile apps? Okay. Public override void ready. This dot get turn manager component dot connect. We're going to connect to the turn manager component, player turn started. This name of on player turn started. And we're going to create an int private lifetime equals 5. Oh, private int lifetime equals 5. Private void on player turn started. Lifetime minus if lifetime equals 0. Oh wait, do I want to? Yeah, that's fine. So we're gonna say owner. Oh, I am the owner. Get this dot get first node of type. Health component dot damage. We'll just say 100. And let's do this. Bool suppress text. Okay. All right then, so we'll damage this and then we'll say suppress the text. It's a very quick way of cleaning it up. All right, let's see if that works. Hello, Zygen. Welcome, welcome. How's the game? It's going all right. It's not turning out as I would have hoped, but I'm going to finish it up anyway and try to make it as good as possible for you all. Yeah, this is like... So I was working on a vertical slice for Gunforged, which will continue in the near future. So no worries there. Goodness, stop attacking my walls. Oh, wait, let's see. Cannot access a disposed object. Where at? Oh no. Cannot access a disposed object. Why? Where's the disposed object happening? Oh, it's happening here. Dot where? Let's see. I'm just going to do a little hack in here. Cool. All right, that should fix whatever crash that was. Okay, let's see if this decays here. There we go. Okay. That's dying. Cool, cool, cool. That's how I feel about all of my projects. Always start off very optimistic and then towards the end get really perfectionist and a little disappointed. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I thought this was going to work out well. But I don't know, there's something missing about it. There's just some strategic depth that's not there. Can't quite put my finger on it. But I don't know. We'll get it into the hands of all you all and see what you think. How far are you with the V-Slice at Gunforged? I don't know. Probably less than 50%. There's a lot of work to do still. How did I make the falling thing level 1? That's just a, it's just a series of control nodes here that are animated. So basically this thing moves and animates. That's it. And then I've just got the chains that extend beyond the screen. So it's pretty straightforward, actually. Not too difficult. A little bit of trickery going on. Okay, so one thing that I want to do as well is I want to start polishing this up, so I gotta add some spawn particles here. And what I might do might just make a generic poof. Make a generic poof that I can use for things that despawn. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Particles. So I need to create a new material, canvas item material, particles animation, 3 H-frames. Cool. And then the texture here. Normal texture. Create a new process material. And let's see, just gonna create the spawn particles here. So what do I wanna do? Initial velocity, where's that? Where is my initial velocity? There it is. Turn up the explosiveness. Cool. And then animation, offset 1, offset random. Is that even working? I'm not sure if this is working. It's not selecting different frames from the animation. Why is that not working? Did I do something wrong? I must have. What did I do wrong? I've got particles animation, particles H-frames selected correctly. In my process material, on my animation, I don't know why that's not working. Well, whatever, it's not a huge deal. The angular velocity isn't working either. Oh, oops, because I put the wrong thing in. Perfect, okay. Let's take the scale, random scale curve. Perfect. Let's turn the amount up. Turn up the velocity random. Let's change the initial angle. All right, and now the last thing to do is to do the color, which I'm just going to take this color here. And you know what I might do? Well, let's just see how that looks. Throw an animation player on here, call this default, add track. Well, let's see. I want to change the scale here, so let's create a scale track. And then what I'm going to do is basically just grow it in from 0. So I've got to from 0 to 1.25. Back down to 1. Okay, maybe this needs to be a little bit... There we go. Okay, that seems to be all right. And then I want to change this to emitting here. And then we'll turn that on to autoplay. Let's see if it works out well in game or not. Okay, not bad. What I want to try, though, is I want to take those particles. Where's those particles? Where are those particles? There we go. I'm going to take these particles and I'm going to give them an outline, I think. Oh, no. Well, this will be fine. So we'll just outline it. Actually. There we go. I'm curious to see what that looks like. Kind of gives it a little bit of a chunkier look. Kind of like it. I think I'm going to make those particles a little bit more aggressive, though. So we're going to up the gravity a little bit, and then also maybe turn down the lifetime just a tad. Okay. Hello, Dragon Apple. Welcome, welcome. Should add more details on the map. There's a lot of things I should do. It's not a question of what I should do, it's a question of how much time do I have. Honestly, general despawn animation, maybe some fancy squash stretch stuff can probably get you a long way. Yeah, I'm thinking about, yeah, exactly that with the poof animation. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's okay for now. We're still not done with this ability, so let's go to our... I forgot where it's supposed to be. Where is the... I think this is it. Yeah, so these are where all my icons are. So we got to create an icon for the wall. And then we got to add it to the possible table of abilities that the player can have. So we'll call that icon wall. Maybe we'll just crop this like that. Well, that doesn't look the prettiest, but we're just trying to get this game done. I've really only got today and tomorrow, so Monday too, technically, but okay, so now I'm going to run my fancy script, export layers. Cool. And then in my ability definition, wall ability definition, this turns into icon wall here. And then I have to go to my room. Where's my abilities? Or is it in main? Here we go. Trade. Right, so I gotta add this to the ability loot table. So ability loot table, dot add item, new wall ability definition. And we'll just turn this to 1,000 so we can see if it actually works. So now this should be fully integrated into the game. Oh, I forgot to remove it from the necromancer. Whoops. Remove it there. So we'll just beat this level real quick and see. All right, there we go. Block a tile with a wall. So I select that, and now I should have that in my repertoire. Cool. I think everything's working there as expected. Cool. Oh, crash. Nice. What the heck? Why is this crashing? Oh no. All right. I'm not going to get to the root of the issue why it's crashing. I'm just going to prevent it from crashing. Okay, added wall ability. Oh, I should probably turn down the weight right here. Turn it down to 1. All right, so there's a wall ability done. Let's see. Now I'm prone to continue my GD Quest tutorial. Do it. You will find a lot of enjoyment in learning Godot. I'm sure of it. Well, I'm not entirely sure of it, but it's very likely. When you finish this game, are you going to continue to add more updates? Probably not. Probably not, no. Thought it was an egg. It is an egg. It's an egg rock. Wait, what script? I don't know what you're, Are you referring to GD script? All right, let's look at my other feedback that I've got here. Obviously, there's a lot to do. Let's see, what's the other feedback I got? Okay. Never mind, I think I got through all the feedback from friends. So, there's a couple of other things that we need to do. Let's update the buttons in the UI. So UI, buttons are here for some reason. I think I'm more or less going to keep what's here, but I'm going to outline them like that. Oh wait, I want to do that. And honestly, I think I'll just get rid of, well, I do need a disabled state for the button, which I guess can just be the white again. So these are the button rectangles that are used to create the 9 patch rectangles or the 9 slice rectangles. Okay, that should be fine. So let's go ahead and I'm going to intentionally die here and see what happens. Okay, so those are looking good. Very simple buttons. And I just need to go and edit the font colors now. So the button colors, font color is white, font color disabled, white, font color focus, white, font color hover is going to be black, right? Oh, yeah, I think so. Cool. All right, so the buttons are switched around now. Okay, so the thing is, we don't have a main menu right now either. And I'm not sure if I want to create one or just drop the player right into the game and just show like a little options menu. I have this really simple options menu here. So I think I could probably just reuse this. Yeah, maybe I'll just reuse this. Oh, the A-Sprite script, okay. It's called GASPI scripts or something. Yeah. This repository here. PKGASPI A-Sprite scripts. And there's a couple of really nice scripts in here. Export layers is the one I'm using, which creates individual images out of each layer, which is really good. I'm actually a contributor. Look at my name right there. So yeah, that's the repository for the A-Sprite scripts. All right, so the options menu. I might I don't think I even need to make this a separate screen. I'm gonna commit with the buttons, the button changes there. I don't think I need to make this a separate screen. I think I can just... what am I saying? Get rid of the background. Keep the margin container. Add a panel container. Drop everything underneath that. Shrink end, just like that. Okay, yeah, I think I might just make it a panel that can pop up in the corner. Yeah, that'll work. Do I have a min size specified for this or something? Where is this minimum size coming from? Oh, there we go. Let's get rid of the minimum size. And we also don't need this massive gap. Do something really simple like that. Add another margin container. Same strategy where we just give it a little bit of padding on all sides. The back button can be changed to close. Perfect. And then this margin container, get it off the edge of the screen a little bit. And maybe we'll even make it a larger margin bottom. Something like that. And I believe this should just work. So I'm curious to see. Nice, that seems to be working well. So now I just need like a little options button or something. And then I can pop this up. Yeah, that should work really well. All right, that should work really well. So let's create a new canvas layer. Canvas layer. There we go. Control, let's see. Ooh, wait, that's actually super. Yeah, those scripts are really useful, especially for different customization character sprite or something. Yeah, so I was doing cutout sprites where I had the characters made out of many pieces, and then I was able to use that script to just export each piece, which was super nice. What script does exactly? All it does is export each layer as a separate image. That's it. Will the egg wall spawn something depending on how long it stays on the field before being broken? No. No, it's just a blocking location. I mean, I could do that if I had more time to work on the game, but I'm trying to get this done like either tonight or tomorrow. So I can't be going too far with any of these things. Options, whatever. I'm just gonna call this options button. Options button screen. Screen. All right. UI screen. We're basically just in game jam mode right now where I'm just trying to get the game done. And of course there's tons of stuff that can be added and changed, but do not have time. Okay. Margin containers are like my favorite control node. Love them. Super good. Okay, so there's our options button. Add a resource preloader. Where's my options menu? Just throw that on there. Pretty straightforward. And yeah, we'll add a script for it. Scripts. Game.ui.screen node private button. So we're going to connect to the pressed signal here. Pressed. This. Name of on pressed. Private void on pressed. Then we need to grab the resource preloader. And then we'll instance that scene. So var options menu is equal to resource preloader, instance scene or null, options menu. We're going to say add child, options menu. And is that it? I do need to change the options menu though, itself. With the back button here. I don't want to do any of this transition stuff. Okay. Oh, whoops, I forgot to add this here. Options button screen. Cool, so now we've got our little options button there. Let's see what happens here. Crash. Right, because why did it crash? Well, it's going to crash for a couple reasons. Why did this crash? Okay, yeah. My options button screen, I need to access that as unique name. Cool, now we're good. So there's my options right there. Close, close. So it's really that simple. I mean, I already had the options menu built, so, but yeah, that should be about it. I don't need to go to a different screen or anything like that. It just works. And I guess I could toggle this to close as well, but I think what I'll do instead is I will detect a mouse click on that margin container, So options button screen. Yeah, so I think let's create a signal here. Oh, game.ui. Yeah, that's fine. Add it to that namespace. So I'm going to create a signal public delegate void clicked away. And then we're going to say margin container. Do I have that? Nope. Node private margin container. So we're going to grab a reference to this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to the GUI input event. This name of on GUI input. Private void on GUI input. And then we got to take the input event. Event. If event or is action pressed, click. I think that's what it's called. Then we're going to queue free. Oh, we don't want to do that. We want to, I guess I could do that actually. Yeah, I don't think I even need a signal. I can just do this. So now if I click outside of the options box, it should close. So all these still work. There we go. Cool. Now the problem is that this description is covering the options menu. So there's an easy way around that, which is to reorder how those are displayed, but there's an even easier solution, which is to move this to the other side. Okay, done. Fixed. Okay, so let's see if that works. Cool. All right. And maybe we should add a full screen option as well. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Let's just call this window. Window button. All right. Let's grab a reference to that window button. Window button right there. Just copy one of these. Window button connect on window pressed. Get rid of this. Awesome. Update text window button dot text equals os dot is full screen question mark. Full screen. I think this is how I want to do it. Okay, so this variable is actually called, or this property is actually called window full screen. Okay. All right then, so now I just need to handle that button click on window pressed. os.window full screen is equal to not os.window full screen. And then we call update text, and that's it. So let's see if that works. Oh, it doesn't work well in the stream when it goes full screen. Okay. It works. So we'll just call that good. All right. Added options menu. All right. What else should we do here? So we don't have like a win condition yet. So perhaps should do that, but there's also a bunch of other things that need to be cleaned up here. So for instance, there's no death particle for the fireball. So I'm thinking maybe we should do that. There's no death particle for the rock, just generally. So maybe we'll make a generic poof maybe that won't work so well with the fireball, but maybe we could just make a generic poof or something that can play when something dies or gets hit. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So let's just create a new poof particles. So yeah, we'll see how much mileage we can get out of this bad boy. And if I can use it all over the place and it still looks fine, then that's going to be great. There we go. So slot in the particles there. We also need the canvas item material that turns on particles animation. Perfect. Now let's see if my animation is going to work this time. Okay, yeah, that seems to be working. Cool. So let's turn the explosiveness up. We'll create the emission shape as a sphere. Let's do quite a large radius, not 58 though, like 8. And then I need to turn on the explosiveness. Something like that, perhaps. Okay, well, we're getting there. We are getting there. We're going to turn off gravity. Initial velocity. Okay, maybe we want to do like a 180 spread. Initial velocity shouldn't be that high, probably. Okay, we might actually want to make this radius a little bit more. All right, well, we're getting somewhere. Oh, I turned the lifetime. Whoops, I want to change the explosiveness to 0.9 or something. All right. Well, maybe it should even be bigger. I guess we're just gonna have to see how that looks. We're just gonna have to see how that looks. We're gonna create an animation player, so that way we can just control the lifetime of the particles. Default animation. We're gonna set emitting to true. Emitting on. Then we're going to add a call method track on poof particles, cue free. So this will burst and then clean itself up. Let's use the wall as an example here first. And now the question is, do we want to handle this individually? I guess so. So we're going to say connect. We're going to connect to the health component signal dot died. This name of on died. I think I'm going to be... Should I be lazy? Should I be lazy? That's the question. I'm going to be really lazy. Watch this. So, poof manager. I'm going to create a poof manager. And we're going to stick it as an auto load because I don't want to have to individually call it every time. So we're creating an auto load for it, and then I'm going to say resource preloader, put my poof in there, poof particles. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say public static void create poof. Actually, maybe I'll return the poof after that. Resource preloader. Grab a reference to that, as we usually do. Resource preloader. Oh, I gotta do instance here. Private static poof manager instance. Instance equals this. So we got a singleton pattern, basically. Instance dot resource preloader. Instance scene or null. Node 2D. Poof particles. Vector 2 position. We want to accept a position here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say instance dot get entities layer dot add child. I don't know if this is going to be the proper layer. Poof dot global position is equal to position. And then return poof. Okay. So now in here, what I can do is I can say private void on died poof manager dot create poof global position plus vector 2 dot up times 8. So we'll just shift it up a little bit. And I think that's it. And so now we got to add it to our auto loads. Scene, what am I looking for? Auto load. Poof manager. There we go. All right, let's add the wall ability back to the necromancer. And then we'll see if it poofs. What's up, Cheesem? Welcome back. Now you want to play games now, yeah? Have you given thought about how much will cost Gunforge in Steam? Probably less than $10. The answer is always yes to being lazy. Yes, yes, yes. Are there days you work in Godot and you just forget how things work? Like you just can't be productive because you don't remember how to do simple things? I don't think I've experienced quite what you're talking about. There are days where I don't want to work, but I don't forget how to do simple things. I mean, I guess that happens only if I'm tired. Wait, I didn't see a poof. Are the poofs not working? Oh, you know what I did? I probably didn't, did I turn this on to auto? I did not. Okay. That should work now. Forgot to autoplay the animation. Hey, that doesn't look too bad. That does not look too bad. I am going to turn down the radius, though. I am going to turn down the radius, though. Perfect. Okay, that doesn't look bad at all. Now, as far as if I can use that for fireball impacts, I'm gonna guess probably not. I'm gonna guess probably not. Cool. All right, then. Yeah, I think the fireball impacts are going to have to be their own thing. So let's go ahead and... Do I want to do that? Well, let me think. I also have to change the comet ability. I have to give the comet ability some particle effects as well. I spent all night 2 nights ago trying to make an enemy do damage every second if it's in the player's hitbox. Woke up this morning and then coded it in seconds. Oh, yes. That can happen, yeah. I've experienced that for sure, before, for sure. All right, then. Yeah, there's just a lot of particle effects and sound effects that need to happen here. Let's do a little bit of playing through and see what's the next most impactful thing to finish up here. So there's no particle effects when let's just make the imp fireball effects. All right, so fireball, I wonder if, yeah, I'm just gonna have to make my own new particles here, I think. But I'm not gonna start from scratch again. I think I'm just gonna duplicate these, this poof particles, and I'm gonna say fire impact. So we got the fire impact here. Let's call this fire impact. Let's make this unique. These now can just be recolored however I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my fireball. Let's close some of this. Get these tabs out of my workspace. Let's copy this color ramp. That'll work pretty well. Throw that in here. Paste. Excellent. And then let's turn emitting on. And so the difference about the fireball impact is basically just going to be, we do want to have gravity on, and we do want to have an initial velocity that's higher. Maybe not quite that high. We got to change the direction to be in the up direction. And we also want to reduce the spread. So basically that's it. Okay. So I'll just add a resource preloader here. And before I go any further, I think what would be wise to do is to add an effects layer to this. So let's go ahead and add a node 2D. Effects. Cool. And then in here, need to grab a reference to that. Awesome. And then I can go to my node extensions here and just copy and paste that, and just change this to get effects layer. All right, and then let's go to my poof manager before I forget and replace this to get effects layer. All right then, so now I can go back to my fireball. Resource preloader. Whoops, not HTTP request. I don't want to do that. I ain't doing no web stuff. So add the fireball impact into there. And then when this dies, it's already calling a die method here. So I'm just going to say var impact is equal to resource preloader dot instance. Oops, I got to grab a reference to the resource preloader first. I'm basically just doing the same. I mean, you're probably noticing this. Basically just doing the same things over and over and over again, which can be a little bit tedious. This is the tedious part about game development. But that's how it goes. So we're going to say this dot get effects layer dot add child impact. Impact dot global position is equal to global position. All right, let's see if that works. Okay, that's actually working really well. I just need to turn down the scale, I think, and then it'll be basically good. I'm going to turn down the radius as well on this emission shape. And probably either turn down, yeah, probably turn down the initial velocity as well. Okay. Cool. Seems to be working pretty well. Let's see what it looks like when it hits me. Nice. Okay. Obviously with sound effects and stuff, it'll make it feel a lot better. Add fireball and poofs. Fireball impact and poofs. Boom. A fresh mind can do wonders. Yes, indeed, Toothless. Yes, indeed. All right. Let's do some stuff with the comet now. So first, I think this needs to be bigger now. If I can figure out where the comet even is. There it is. Let's make it bigger. Okay. Load default palette. Make it kind of like oddly shaped. Just kind of like throw something together here. Oops. What happened? Okay, there we go. I just zoomed way out on accident. I have no clue. This is going to be moving very fast in the game, so I don't think it needs to be like super pretty. Just kind of make it look like a little bit oddly shaped. Okay. I think that's probably okay. Oops. And I could maybe even... Would it look okay with white in the center? That actually kind of looks cool. Let's see what happens if I just take this. If I just take this outlining all the way. Is it going to look good or is it going to look terrible? I think it looks kind of cool. It's going to be moving fast with a particle trail behind it, so. And it's not going to be totally static. Nice. All right, we'll just see how that looks, I guess. Whoops. This is a little bit oddly shaped. Now, I just need to make sure that that's not going to be like obnoxiously big in the game. So let's add a mage. Slap them in there and see what's up. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. And just change the position of the sprite here. Cool. So let's add a particles 2D. Let's copy, yeah, let's do this. Let's copy this material here so I don't have to reconfigure it. Material, paste that canvas item material into there. We'll grab the particles. There. This is going to go behind the sprite. And then I want to set the amount quite high. Turn the duration down a little bit. Let's change the color. So we got a new process material. We're going to turn off gravity. The emission shape is going to be a sphere. All right. Let's just change the color here to this. All right. And then okay. Now we just got to give it some more elegant in and out animation. And then change the angular velocity and the initial angle as well. Oops. I'm used to the Godot 4 version where you edit the min and the max. Cool, and then the scale needs to go way up here. Maybe that's too much. And maybe I'll turn down the lifetime by 1/10 of a second as well. All right, let's see what that looks like. Oh, oops. What the heck? I think I need to make this as a child of sprite. And we'll just say visibility show behind parent. There we go. It's still showing up. Why is that? Why is that happening? So the sprite scale is not being set correctly, so I guess I'll just manually set the particles to emitting in the code so that they don't show up. Particles 2D dot emitting equals false. Particles 2D dot emitting equals true. Okay. Let's see if that works. Oh, whoops, it's not going to because I need to make this a scene unique name. And I think this needs to be a capital D now, which is just a quirk of my library. All right, let's see. All right, not bad at all. Now I'm really wondering if I can get away with poof manager. Let's try this. For each var tile in target tiles, can I get away with just creating a poof? Poof manager dot create poof. This dot get grid manager component dot what is it? Dot tile position to world tiles center tile. Okay. Let's see if that works. Not bad. Does not look terrible. Certainly easy to get away with that, I think. Okay. Update comet effects. Hello, Chendrak. I was trying to look into particles and shaders, but can't seem to find good tutorials. Do you know of any that explain them well? No, I don't. But do I plan to go into them in my new course? I probably will, yeah. Is it covered in the current one? Yes, there are particles in the current course, which for those interested, I have a Udemy course. You can check out the link in the description. It's $35, but it's usually on sale. And yeah, I show you how to create a 2D platformer in the Godot engine, so you are late to the stream, unfortunately. I'm actually just about to call the stream right here. Nice little 2-hour Saturday afternoon stream. Got a lot done, but I know Chendrak, you just got here too. But I'm sorry. I'm gonna go take I've been working since early this morning, so I'm gonna go take a short break. Trying to get this game wrapped up. Kind of grinding, you know? But yeah, I will be covering particles in my new course, and it's covered in my current course as well. To answer your other question, I haven't come across any good tutorials, no. It's something that I learned just by trial and error. Just playing around with things and figuring out how they work. For some reason, I've been struggling with overthinking when prototype. Anyone have tips? So I don't know exactly what you mean by overthinking when prototyping, but I think you shouldn't be too worried about creating the perfect code or the perfect game when you're prototyping. Just throw some stuff on the screen and see if you can make it fun. And don't worry about writing spaghetti code, and don't worry about, you know, what should happen or what needs to happen, or, you know, just build the stuff that you need in the simplest way possible when you're prototyping, because you're trying to figure out, like, if the game is going to be fun, right? So you don't need to worry about, like, writing well-architected code or scenes. Just throw something together until you've got something that's fun, and then you can always rework things later. Overthinking programming, yeah. Yeah, I would say just do whatever. You don't want to... You know, there's a phrase, you aren't gonna need it, which is sort of like a mindset of don't architect systems that you don't have a use for yet, right? So you may be creating a turn-based game and prototyping how it works. And so you don't need to build out a whole framework for, like, handling the turns. You can just get it working quick and dirty just to see if your idea is going to work before you figure out, okay, how do I construct a broader system that can handle coordinating the turns, right? Let's see. Yeah, Arn's got good advice here. Would I recommend just using components, nodes, instead of loading a single player class with component references? I'm not sure what your question is exactly. Like, yeah, I mean, don't do like the component-based design like I'm doing until you have a clear idea of what components you need. If you can just write all the code you need in your player class first, and then it's the same deal. Like, you aren't going to need it. If you have a piece of code that could be abstracted into another component, don't do it until you have a second use case. And sometimes I don't even do it when I have a second use case. It's only when I encounter the third or the fourth use case where I'm like, okay, now I need to make this code generic so that I can support these use cases. So it's always about refactoring. Just refactor things as you need to when the need arises. That's generally how I look at it. Cool. All right. Well, that's going to be it for this stream this afternoon. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you're interested in supporting my work, you can wishlist Gunforged on Steam. The link for that is in the description below. And like I said, you can also check out my Udemy course and sign up for my newsletter to stay up to date with everything that I'm working on. So yeah, that's it for the stream. Python, you say, I've always been told to refactor early and often. Well, yes, but there's no point in refactoring something that only has one use case. That's the point. You refactor when you encounter a situation where you need to refactor. You don't want to refactor just for the sake of refactoring. You have to let the development of your project guide when refactors happen. Cool. All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. And I will see you in the next video or the next stream, whichever one comes first. All right. Have a good day. You're welcome, Python. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.